it's good that I didn't overshoot my weight on my bench today or just on any exercise. I did 195 for 2 sets of 12 as prescribed in the workout today. So I put 200 into the 1 rep max calculator for 15 reps, and it said 300 pounds. So I figured that was a little bit too much, even though I used to be at least better at more higher reps at lower weight. But I was like 200 might be too much, so I did 195. And first set was like RPE, I don't know, like 5 to 6. Uh, and then it's like the second set is like RPE 7, 6.5 maybe, right? It's hard to say when the RPE is on the lower end, but it was a good weight. 200 might have been a little bit harder, but 200 would have been fine too. But I'm happy with 195. But I know there are more sets on days on the weeks after this, week 2 and week 3. Week 4 will be a deload. So if it's more sets, I'm gonna have to keep the weight the same or a little lower, right? Like 190, 185. But the really interesting thing I want to say today is the high isometric deadlifts I did. So the program prescribes, kind of like a lower body, like a deadlift type movement for posterior chain, or for deadlift lockout. So like hip thrust, things like that. But instead of hip thrust, I wanted to do something else. So I did this instead, which is the high isometric conventional deadlift. And it's actually only 2 reps, so 1 rep per set, and you hold it up for 6 seconds. But I wasn't sure, so I asked on the Facebook group, and Chad told me that it was actually just 1 rep per set. But because I didn't get the answer until after the workout, I did two reps per set. And that first set, my first rep was 6 seconds, but the one after was like 4.5 seconds, which was fine. But then the second set, I did 6 seconds for both of my reps. Problem with that is that it's not the hardest thing when you do it. It's pretty hard, but it's not the hardest thing. And by the way, you notice that it's a 35-pound bar. I noticed it after I started using it, so it was fine. So I just added a extra 5 on each side. The grip was a little easier though, because the bar was not as thick as the regular 45-pound bar, but that's fine. Next time I'll use the right bar. But doing it itself wasn't that hard at all. It was hard, but it wasn't super hard. But I was feeling it in my lower back while I was doing it after. And I did high bar squats, as you can see, pause, right? The workout prescribed 2x6, RP, I think 6 or 7. First set was like RP 6, but the second set was like RP 9. It could have been much lower RPE if I didn't do the isometrics on the deadlift. That really fired up my lower back, right? And that really affected my high bar squats, but it affected my good mornings a lot after. It was supposed to be in the order of the workout of the exercises, the deadlift, the squats, and then leg extensions, right? And then good mornings. But because I had the rack, didn't want to lose the rack, so I did good mornings, and that's how I'll be doing from now on. Making sure that I do all the movements that I need the rack for first. But like I was supposed to do 3 sets of good mornings, 10 to 12 reps. So last time I did 165, and this time I only did 155, and I only did 2 sets. By the third set, I unracked it, and I couldn't do it because my lower back was on fire, even when I was unracking it. And I stood there and was like, no, I put it back. So I think doing good morning once is enough. I think there was a Instagram post recently on the Juggernaut training system Instagram, I think, and it was like, how do you work with your hamstrings? Like some hamstring curls plus a hip hinge is enough, like once per week. So doing good mornings twice a week isn't really necessary. So So for this particular day on the hypertrophy block, instead of good mornings on day 4, I'm gonna do probably some dumbbell RDLs, which is a exercise that the program recommends, that I can swap out. So I'm probably do dumbbell RDLs, probably a lot easier on the lower back too. And go with something lighter, probably 40 pounds on each hand. So, and just not do good mornings twice a week, because that's pretty taxing, honestly. Not as taxing as deadlift, but still pretty taxing, especially if I'm going to be doing this isometric deadlift, 3 inches away from lockout once a week, right before I do good mornings. It's gonna be tough. So, and I don't want to be skipping my third set, but now I know, right? So, besides that, the leg extensions went pretty well. But yeah, that's the workout. Kind of knowing, how this program works, how to deal with not overshooting my weight, managing my fatigue. I did overshoot the weight honestly on my high bar squats, on the pause high bar squats, but that's because I underestimated how much my lower back was being fatigued by the isometric deadlifts. So besides that, I think this is a really good workout. Bench felt phenomenal. Squats felt okay. Good mornings felt okay, but that's because my lower back was on fire, like I said. But yeah, ended with some leg extensions, which I really like doing. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the day 5 video, and we'll finish the first week. Peace.